Hello and welcome to Community Report this week. Take a look at this picture on your screen. Are they familiar? Have you wondered who they are and what they do? That's our focus for this week as we'll delve into that ecosystem, that community called the capital market. We'll also be shedding more light on how the community work, who they are, who their members are and what they do, and how you can take advantage of their basket of products. Stay with us. I'm Olu Phillips. This is Lagos, the foremost business district in Nigeria's commercial capital. If you were visiting Lagos for the first time and you find yourself around this vicinity, you can readily tell, judging by the trappings of the structures and activities, that it is a corporate area. The traffic, the towering buildings that are almost kissing the sky, the busy streets, and other concerns adorning the area, the number of bank headquarters and other financial institutions just gives away the confluence as a complete business bureau. Interestingly, most of the business concerns are found on two major streets, Broad Street and Marina, with of course some adjoining roads. One of the structures you will find within these tall buildings is the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Customs Street. Before we talk more on what happens in there and how strategic it is to the economic realities of Nigerian financial system, let's first find out the ecosystem, the community circle that is the capital market in which the activities revolve. So, what is the capital market?
The capital market is one part of the financial system. Okay. The other part is the money market. Now, the capital market is the one that caters for long-term capital, whereas the money market caters for short-term capital. And of course, like the place where most people know is the money market, where banks operate, because everybody has to have a bank account and all of that. And so, but the capital market, that's where there's a lot of capital formation, where there's an interface between intermediaries, investors, and issuers. Okay, and what do they do there? People, the issuers who want to raise money go through intermediaries and reach out to investors who have monies to invest. And so that is the interplay that takes place in the capital market.
The actual Nigerian stock markets started in 1961 with the Stock Exchange Act of 1961, and that has metamorphosed to what we are seeing today. We started with just very few dealing member firms, that's the stockbroking firms, and few equities or securities quoted in that market. But we've seen over the years it has grown, and today we have virtually over 200 securities quoted in this market with different diverse background of professionals performing that function of mobilizing funds from the deficit sector to the surplus, from the surplus sector to the deficit sector. So those who want money to increase their business, to expand, they come to the market meet all requirements, and they raise funds from the general public. But of course, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, SEC, will moderate in this process.
The growth and development of capital markets in Nigeria can be traced to 1946, with the floating of 600,000 naira worth of government stocks. However, an organized market for the secondary trading of issue stocks was lacking.
You can't have a capitalist society without capital flows. The two don't go hand in hand. So the whole concept of a capital market is to bring in people who have the capital, who have the money, and willing to take risk with the money, with people who need the money, and willing to take investment decisions with that money, so that they can actually come together. The people who bring in the money grow the investments. The people will take that money to build a rail line, for example, deliver services, which actually then all propels and grows an economy. So if you look at that link of the capitalist society, really, by actually carrying out, if you like, those capital projects, those investments, you create jobs. Those jobs propel the economy. Those jobs help fuel taxation. Those jobs help fuel the overall growth of an economy. So if you take a developing economy like we have in Nigeria or in Africa, the capital market becomes extremely vital, because when you look all around you, what you see is the need for development. And to achieve development, you need capital. But the capital market goes a level further. It actually, a good capital market actually puts and wraps around strong governance around those processes. Because if I'm going to give you my money, I've got to make sure you better do the right things with it. And you're not going to take unnecessary risks, or the risks that you've not actually explained properly to me, and you're not going to manage those risks in a manner that is not in line with what we consider as sound governance processes. So there are checks and balances that actually make the capital market thrive and develop.
In 1959, following the establishment of the Central Bank of Nigeria a year earlier, a 4 million naira Federal Government of Nigeria development loan stock was issued in line with its role of fostering economic and financial development. In 1986, Nigeria's military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, embraced the International Monetary Fund's Structural Adjustment Program, which influenced the economic policies of government and led to reforms in the late 1980s and early 1990s. The program was proposed as an economic package to rapidly and effectively transform the Nigerian economy within 2 years. However, until the Structural Adjustment Program was abandoned in 1994, the objectives were not fully achieved. The notable reforms include monetary and fiscal policy, sectoral reforms such as removal of oil subsidy in 1988 to the tune of 80%, interest deregulation from August 1987, fiscal market reform and public sector reform, which entails the full or partial privatization and commercialization of about 3 public-owned enterprises. The Nigerian Stock Exchange was to play a key role during the offer for sale of the shares of the affected enterprises.
This market measures, or is a barometer of the general economy. Once the economy is doing very well, of course, you see that reflecting in the capital market. Now, how does it work? That's a very good question. The capital market is a place where, like I said earlier, long-term funds are being raised. I have a business, and I don't want it to remain a one-man business. I want it to expand. I need new machineries. I need to employ professionals to do the job very well. And myself, I just can't raise that amount of money. So what I do, I come to the capital market. I use various set of professionals, and I sell my shares. That's basically what it is. And they now subscribe through what we call initial public offering, or a public offering. So what happens is they fill the form, they buy my shares, they subscribe, they're now becoming a part owner of my company. And after that, after meeting the requirement, it will be listed on an exchange. That's why we have the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So What it means that even those who are my shareholders now, they don't need to consult themselves when they want to exit.
Businesses in and around here, whether small, medium, or large scale, essentially is conducted using Nigeria's legal tender, the Naira. That is not exactly what happens at the capital market. The products are almost not tangible, yet it has been linked heavily to how much a country outlook can be. In fact, governmental policies and programs can be funded to any tune in this building. You are asking, how can that be? Well, let's hear how it happens.
Government is the biggest spender in any economy. And more often than not, government gets involved in infrastructure development for the benefit of the people. And all of those infrastructure projects are long-term projects. As you know, if you take Nigeria, for instance, we face a lot of infrastructure deficit. And the capital market is one sector or one market that will enable the government to bridge that infrastructure gap if those projects are properly structured and they are carried through the capital market. That is from the point of view of government. Because, for example, as we speak today, you know that given where we are with the economy and our oil prices, there's a gap in the budget. The capital market is where that gap can be filled.
In 1999, the administration of retired General Olusegun Obasanjo laid a foundation that can be viewed as placing Nigeria in the take-off stage of the Roster's 1961 economic growth model. An important characteristic of this stage is an increase in social infrastructure to support economic activity and the broadening of the economic opportunity space for private investment, both by local and foreign entrepreneurs. The main participants of the Nigerian capital market are the Securities and Exchange Commission, whose activities are primarily regulatory, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, stockbrokers, trustees, issuing houses, and registrars. The investments are done by the insurance companies, pension funds, institutional investors, and individual investors.
The stock exchange is a platform in the capital market. The stock exchange is just the trading platform. It provides a place where this exchange of shares takes place on a daily basis. You know, I'm trading on the stock exchange right now. Okay. You know, so what do I do as a stockbroker? What do? I have clients who want to sell shares, and I have clients who want to buy. The same thing happens to all other stockbroking firms. And so we meet in the market every day from 9:30 to 2:30, and there on the screen, everybody will display what they have to buy or what they have to sell. And you match. As soon as your prices agree, a trade is struck.